want to thank everybody for coming out this afternoon. We've got a lot of great music for you. First up, we've got the Finland Middle School Jazz Band under the direction of Mr. Hershey. There's going to be a slight change in the personnel because both of our drum set players are on quarantine right now, so I will be filling in for drums for the Finland Jazz Band. So, the Finland Middle School Jazz Band.
Thank you. Fun piece that we actually learned in just about the last week and a half called Martian Square Dance. That was some of the best names for the songs in this book. Got to hear a nice improvised solo from Joe over there on the bass. You'll get to hear quite a lot of him today. Going to move into a nice, little more relaxing of a piece for this afternoon. A piece called Bossa Madera, showing off a little bit of our Latin style on this one. Thank you. I always tell people when you're listening for a jazz band, if you want to know just how good the jazz band is, watch the director. If I get to be really lazy while they're playing, then you know you got a great jazz band. And what I like about it is not just when Mr. Stern's sitting in, but all the time, that these guys just have such a great sense of time and just play so well together that I hardly have to do any work when they're playing. It's really nice to just sit back and listen for a little bit. We're going to move into our swing part of this concert. This piece called Blues at Frog Bottom. It's going to show off a little bit of the soloing of this band. Improvisation, key part of any great jazz band. We're actually going to hear 4 improvised solos on this one. So see if I can remember everybody. We're going to hear from Alex and Roman on trombone, Vivian on piano, and Joe on bass. Really impressive to hear middle schoolers doing improvised solos. I gave them a few notes, gave them a few guidelines, but it's always fun to do improvisation because you make it up as you go along. There's no way you can be wrong on that. Gonna shift gears here quite a bit, go from a swing chart to a funk chart. This one the kids are basically begging me to play every single year until they eventually wear me down and we replay it. This is a piece called Buffalo Head. playing a piano solo on there, and did get a lot of great drum solos from Mr. Stone. Thank you so much. Gonna go back to another Latin piece on this one, showing off a little bit of our reggae style. It's called Into the Sun, and it's gonna feature trombone solo from Alex Sayre. Well, I think, as kids, I think we can agree we got an upgraded drum set. I've been playing drum set for them all week, and, well, I really like playing the clarinet. We're going to move into another rock song. Really show off the band on this one. This is probably one of the toughest pieces that I have in the library, and this year, with how talented the group was, I knew they could handle it, even with all the weird schedule that we've had going on between hybrid, virtual, and just everything that's happened this year. He's by a great big band composer, Gordon Goodwin. He's called the Jazz Police. course, I gotta mention after that, after playing that piece, really a feature for our rhythm section, especially Joe and Vivian on bass and piano. I think they played more notes in that song than probably all the rest of the songs combined this year. Great jazz band tradition, you gotta finish off with a fast swing chart, barn burner. We're gonna close off with a piece called Swing Fever, and as I like to tell the band before we play this one, see you at the end. When we finish, there will be a brief intermission as we get the Franklin Heights Jazz Band on stage.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing tonight? Good. Yeah, I agree. It's a little early for jazz. We should have started this about 10 p.m. All right, that's the truth. 6 to 9 would have been the open jam session. Then 10 o'clock would have been Finland Middle School. Then 10:30 would have been Franklin Heights. And then at about 11 o'clock, that's when the Arch City should have went. Now we got to be careful because they told me 11 o'clock would have been past their bedtime. So that's why we had to start it. So young people, it's the old people that made us start the service. Anyway, my name is Robert Ragland. I'll be telling jokes now. I'll be conducting the Franklin Heights Jazz Band today. And we had a unique opportunity because of the pandemic. We actually learned a lot of tunes using a real book over the computer. So the students were all looking at the same charts, which helped because when we were playing, everybody was playing the same part instead of having 4 or 5 different parts going at once. And notice a lot of them, they all have it memorized. So they had to learn all these charts. And we listened to the recordings and we studied some Miles Davis. And his most famous album is called Kind of Blue. All right, and it kind of set the jazz world on fire. And anybody that's worth 2 cents in the musician's field, if you watch the interviews, they refer to this album and everybody was influenced by it. And the first song was called Freddie Freeloader, all right, and it's a blues. And then that's actually the second song on the album. And then the second song of the 3 songs we're going to play is called So What? And that's the first song in the album. And it's going to feature a bass player, and the bass player actually gets the melody, which is kind of cool because sometimes the bass players, they kind of get hidden in the back. So the bass player is going to do a good job of playing the melody. And then we're going to feature a senior, Miss Sullivan here, who's going to be going to Capital University. Let's give it up. And she actually learned some of the Miles Davis solo right off the album. So we were able to do a lot of cool things, even during virtual, where the students maybe have more opportunities to dive in to the music even more in smaller settings and whatnot. And we're also going to feature a young man on the alto saxophone named Michael Freeman. And really, real quick, all the young people that soloed on the first song, those were all seniors, by the way. So would all the seniors stand up real quick? They even know how to stand up together, sit down together. Those are the seniors. I would have featured the freshmen, but if I had them do that, they would still be trying to figure it out. Anyway, sorry, freshmen. Seniors are a special breed, but I thought they did a great job of improvising on that. And we're going to feature another senior, Miss Sullivan, and another young man named Mr. Freeman. And this is Miles Davis's So What? This last song is a song comes from the album called Road Tested, which I think is a appropriate album to look at because I think everybody in the past year and a half we've all been road tested in the things that we're going through, especially in education and trying to teach the young people music. And I think we kind of were able to preserve that, and hopefully we'll have a great beginning of our marching band season coming up. We got a parade coming up. So I think this song was called Peanuts. It's by Hank Crawford and Jimmy McGriff. Hank Crawford was playing saxophone, Jimmy McGriff was laying down the organ. And this one is a fun song. It features, we're going to have Jacob Harding, who's a senior, Michael Freeman again on the saxophone, and we'll have, once again, Miss Sullivan on the clarinet. Let's give, first of all, also, not only just congratulating the seniors, I just want to say we had the banquet last night. All right, and it would go without privilege to say we had given 2 major awards. The first award we given was the John Philip Sousa Award, which went to Caesar, and he's playing vibraphone. And then we also give out the Louis Armstrong Award, and that also went to Tatiana Sullivan, who's been playing really good clarinet stuff. So go ahead and please stand up. I just wanted to share that because those are national awards, and we're at a jazz concert, so you should know who's getting the Louis Armstrong Award. And I guess John Phillips did March, so that's close to jazz, I guess. No boogie woogie though. All right, this is Peanuts by Hank Crawford and Jimmy McGriff. We will have a short intermission and we'll hear from the Art City Jazz Band next. Thank you very much.
We're proud to have as our guest the Arch City Big Band.
Thank you so very much. We decided to feature some people you knew on that first one. Sam Hershey on tenor sax and Robert Ragland on piano. And a little drum solo you heard there was by Rick Brown, former percussion instructor at Franklin Heights High School. The Arch City Big Band is a community jazz band. My good friend from high school, Barbara Young, over there in the sax section. She looks, I know, 10 years younger than me, but that's okay. We went to high school together, and she said, when she moved back to Columbus, she said, I played in some community groups in Virginia. Maybe we should have one here in Columbus. And so she twisted my arm a little, and I said, sure. And of course, it's just natural that I knew some people from Franklin Heights, so that's why they're here. And so at this point, if you are a former Franklin Heights student, would you raise your hand? Not a few. So, this next piece is by the great Sammy Nestico. We lost Sammy Nestico at the age of 96 back in January. An American treasure. Wrote some wonderful, wonderful music, much of which we played back when I was here at Franklin Heights. This is a tune that is new to me. It's called Switch in Time. Thank you. That's Alex Hansford on trombone and Robert Gallagher on piano. One of the great things about this group is that we have a couple of wonderful vocalists within the band. We're going to bring one of them out right now. This is Chris Martin, and Chris is going to sing from Gershwin, Love Is Here to Stay. It's also going to feature a little trumpet solo from a former Franklin Heights student in our trumpet section, Greg Lenahan.
Very clear, our love is here to stay, not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancy, and its time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. It's time the rock keep and crumble, the rock and tumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. Inside the Rockies may crumble, the broken may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here to stay. Our love is here to stay.
Martin. Next, we're going to feature someone you know, Sam Hershey. He's going to play a little clarinet for you. And before I go on, I didn't catch the whole thing, but I caught bits and pieces, and just want to congratulate Mr. Hershey. A great job with the middle school group. You sounded really good from where I was standing back there. And I know it's been a weird year and a lot of different kind of things going on, but I also caught the high school group. Great job, Mr. Stern. Continuing teaching about jazz. That's great. We got to play one ballad. We got to play one time. This is gorgeous. So made famous by Glenn Miller and the Glenn Miller Orchestra. This is Moonlight Serenade. Sam Hershey. Yes, indeed. All right, we got a fun one now with another one of our fantastic vocalists. This is Vera Allen, and she's going to sing a piece that was made famous by Nat King Cole way back in 1945, later sung by such great women as Ella Fitzgerald and Dinah Krall and many, many others. We're also going to hear from Jason Moore on first trombone on this one. This is called the Frim Fram Sauce. Vera Allen, and sometimes Franklin Heights trombone tech, is that right? Band camp tech? Did you work at the band camp? Or
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. Then you know her as Vera, right? All right. She sings really well. All right, well, we've been holding him back. We've got some wonderful former Franklin Heights students, as I mentioned earlier. In fact, we have two All-Staters, I believe, right? In the front row here. Three. Three. Robert, right? Three All-Staters. Robert, and then Katie Mullins, and Brandon Moylan. And Brandon is our lead alto, and he's going to be featured on this piece called Harlem Nocturne. what happens when you practice. All right. Couple more. I want to get out of your hair here. This is one, we did an arrangement over here when I was here. This one's a little bit, step up from it, a little more difficult, I guess. Did a little key. This is April in Paris by Vernon Duke, written way back in 1932. Made famous, however, by the Count Basie Orchestra, especially in 1957. Kind of became almost their theme song. We're going to feature again Jason Moore on trombone and another high school friend, Kathy Levy on trumpet. So, April in Paris. To come and share this great American art form with you, and we hope that we know that with great teachers, and I should have mentioned Robert Ragland too, doing a great job teaching these young people about this great American art form, that it will continue to live for years and years. And this is only our third public performance. We formed right before the pandemic, and we didn't perform then, and then slowly we've been able to kind of come back together and rehearse and then eventually perform. We perform at retirement homes, community events, so let me know. We're going to end with a different arrangement of a piece that you know well, In the Mood. But we're not playing the original, like we did many times when I was a director here, but this is the Jeff Tysick Tonight Show Band version of this. And we're going to feature all sorts of folks. We're going to hear from Brandon Euler again on alto, Sam Hershey on tenor, and then our trumpet duo back there, for our lead trumpet is from Franklin Heights, Josh Backburns. We're going to hear him play all the high notes he has left, and Chris Martin will also play a bunch of other high notes, so you're going to hear them do that. I just wanted to say that to the students. Sometimes as a teacher, I heard the question, well, why should I practice and take lessons? I'm not even going to major in music. How many of you did not major in music? Raise your hand. Over half the band did not major in music, you see. They just practiced, got good, and there's more to life than just getting a job and making money. It's enjoying your life and making memories. And when you get good enough, you can play your whole life. So think about that. That's what so many of these folks did. It's a joy to get together once a week and make great music with them. So thank you so much for inviting us and for the time we've been able to share here. In the mood.
Thank you, Mr. Fox and the Arch City Big Band. Let's hear it one more time for them. Let's hear it for all of our student performers today from Franklin High School and Finland Middle School. Thank you for coming out today. We really appreciate you coming out. Now, I do have a treat for all the performers. We had a little leftovers from the banquet last night. So all the performers, middle school, high school, and our adult performers here, we've got a cupcake for you in the back if you want to grab one. Okay? So thank you for coming out, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.